Why should you never ask a dog for an estimate on your taxes? Because it's always rough. Hey guys, today we're talking about the estimated tax penalty because it's a sneaky penalty and most people don't even realize what it is. And it can cost you thousands and thousands of dollars as your income increases. And of course, we want to do everything that we can to make sure that we're minimizing your tax liability. So in this video, we're going to talk about everything you need to know about the estimated tax penalty. Stay tuned. Hey, I'm Sean with LYFE Accounting, the accounting firm that saves people from high taxes and poor profits. And one of the ways that we help people is making sure that they avoid the estimated tax penalty. Now, some people see this on their tax return every year and just think that it's another required payment to the IRS. But the estimated tax penalty is something that you do not need to pay and can be completely avoided. So right now we're gonna explain what you need to know about the estimated tax penalty so you can start saving more on your annual tax returns. Also, I'm gonna show you what you need to know to calculate and pay your federal estimated taxes. But before I dive in, if you like business, growth, profits, and you learn just one thing from this video, would you please consider liking and subscribing to our channel? Okay, now let's go ahead and start out by defining what is an estimated tax payment. So if you're self-employed, then generally you're required to pay your taxes 4 times a year. What, Sean? You mean I have to pay my taxes 4 times instead of 1? Oh no, man, no way. I'm out. Now hold on, your total tax liability won't change, but rather you need to split it up and just make some more payments. So say for example, your tax liability last year was $10,000. So if you expect your liability to be the same this year, then you'll take that $10,000, divide it by 4, and pay $2,500 4 times throughout the year. Now the reason it's called estimated tax payments is because you're estimating how much income you're gonna make this year and then paying taxes on that amount. So another popular question is, do I have to make these estimated tax payments? So if you file under a business classification like a sole proprietorship, a partnership, an S corporation, or a self-employed individual, and you owe more than $1,000 in taxes, then in general, you will need to make quarterly payments to the IRS. But if you're simply a W-2 employee, then generally you don't need to make any estimated tax payments because your employer will handle those tax payments for you. But if you're doing any kind of business, whether you're doing some freelance stuff, some contractor stuff, or you're self-employed, then you're likely gonna make some tax payments. However, there are 3 super specific instances where you may not need to pay any estimated tax payments. And so you must meet these 3 requirements all together. Number 1, you didn't owe any taxes in the previous tax year and you were not required to file a tax return. Number 2, you were a US citizen or resident for the entire year. And number 3, your tax year was at least 12 months long. So as long as you meet these 3 requirements, then you can completely avoid the estimated tax penalty. But that is a very small percentage of people who will actually qualify. Okay, so now that we know what estimated tax penalties are and who has to pay, the next question usually is, when are they due? So as we already explained, tax payments are due 4 times a year and usually it's due on the 15th of the next quarter. So in the beginning of 2020, the schedule was set up like this. For the period of January 1st to 31st, the quarterly tax payment was due on April 15th, 2020. For the period of April 1st to May 31st, the payment was due June 15th, 2020. For the period of June 1st to August 31st, the payment was due on September 15th. And for September 1st to December 31st, the payment is due January 15th, 2021. Now it's a smart idea to put some of these due dates in your calendar so you can make these payments on time or even a little bit before. But as of right now, they've only extended 2 out of the 4 estimated tax payments due dates, and I'm gonna put on the screen what the schedule looks like right now. Okay, so we understand what estimated tax payments are, we know who has to pay them, and now we know when they need to be paid. Okay, Sean, that makes sense. So exactly how much are we talking here? How much do I have to pay? Okay, so let's get to that. Of course, this is gonna be different for everyone, but I wanna spend some time breaking down the math as simply as possible. Now to illustrate, we're gonna make up a fictional person who we're just gonna call Jimmy. And Jimmy is a sole proprietor who would like to determine his estimated quarterly tax payments based on his income and his self-employed taxes. So step number one for Jimmy is to estimate his taxable income for the year. So let's say that Jimmy estimates that his revenue will be $100,000 this year, but with that revenue comes some expenses. So let's say that he has $30,000 in deductible expenses. So Jimmy's gross income would be $70,000. But Jimmy also qualifies for the standard deduction, which is $12,200. So Jimmy's total taxable income is $57,800. So that's how Jimmy will come up with his total taxable income for step number one. Which, by the way, if you want to learn more about small business tax deductions, then make sure you watch my video linked above. Step number two is to calculate your income taxes. So here you want to start by multiplying your taxable income by this year's tax bracket. And here they are for 2020. So as a single filer and an income of $57,800, he's gonna go up to the 22% tax bracket and pay about $7,518 in taxes. And here's the math on that. Now you can move on to step number three, which is to calculate your self-employment taxes. Because Jimmy earned more than $400 this year, then he will have to pay self-employment tax. To do this, first you need to calculate your self-employment taxable income. So you need to take your total income, which in this example is $100,000, and then you need to multiply your total income to get a small deduction at 92.35% to get your self-employment taxable income. So Jimmy's self-employed taxable income is $92,350. Next, you need to multiply this by the self-employment tax rate, which is 15.3%, which gives you $14,129.55. Once you get your self-employment tax, then you're ready to move on to step number four, which is to add it all together and divide by 4. So you want to take what we calculated in step number 2, which was the federal tax, and add it to what we calculated in step number 3, which was the self-employment tax. So Jimmy will add $7,518 plus $14,129 to get a total estimated tax of $21,647. He then will divide that by 4 to get an estimated quarterly tax payment of $5,411.75. Now that's all the math. Okay, Sean, okay, I followed you. That was tough, but I followed you. Now what if somehow, some way I get the math wrong? What happens then? So remember this, whatever that you overpay in taxes, the government will send you a refund for that amount. Now, of course, you want to be as precise as possible so you can save your money and spend it or invest it into other things. And if you underpay in taxes, there's about a 10% buffer, but you could wind up spending a little bit more money in estimated tax payments. Now, paying the IRS have gotten super easy over the years, and I'm gonna hop on my computer to show you exactly what you need to do. All right, I'm on my computer now, and I just wanna walk through how to make a quarterly estimated tax payment. So the first thing you wanna do is go to your browser and go to irs.gov. Now, in general, irs.gov has a lot of useful information about taxes and policies, but for your quarterly estimated tax payments, you'll go to this sub-menu item that says pay, and then you have a few different options of how you can pay, and I'm just going to select bank account for this example. And then here you want to go ahead and click on make a payment. And then from here it's pretty straightforward. You follow the prompts on the screen. Just make sure on the reason for payment you're clicking on estimated tax, all right? And then you make sure you're selecting the correct tax year. And normally most people are just gonna have a 1040. So yeah, they don't even allow you to select anything else simply because that's all you can do when making an estimated tax payment. And then from here, you want to verify your identity. You'll put in your specific information. Of course, I won't show all of this information on camera, so I'm just going to pause the screen here for just a second, put in some of my information, and then show you guys what the next screen looks like. Now, once you complete step number 2, you'll get to step number 3 here, which is just going to ask you for some of your payment information. The amount that we just calculated will be entered here, the date that you want to enter it, and then your account information and your email address for the confirmation. So that's it for step number 3. I'm not going to actually go any further here because I don't want to make a payment to the IRS right now. But in step number 4, it's a little bit more of the same. You're going to enter in some of your specific information, and it's going to give you some next steps after that. So that's it, guys. That's as easy as it is to make a payment after you've calculated your estimated tax payment. So in conclusion, the estimated tax penalty can be a pain, but completely avoidable if you follow the steps in this video. And if you need help filing your business taxes, then you're in luck, because that's exactly what we do at LYFE Accounting. You can visit our website in the description below, fill out the contact form on our website, schedule a meeting, and we'd be happy to help. And wow, look at that. You made it to the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. And if it brought you any value, please like, subscribe, and tell us in the comment section below. We really want to know if we're putting out some good information to the YouTube universe, so all your feedback is greatly appreciated. Well, that's it for this video. I'm Sean. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again in our next video.